Hello, this is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your thumbs up, for your comments, and thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to love one another, whether we want to or not, or whether we agree with each other or not. And today I want to talk about Project 2025. There is some understandable hysteria around Project 2025 because people really don't know what it means in terms of government oversight and government control in our lives. So I'm going to go over the 4 pillars of 2025. They have long explanations, but they're focusing on 4 major areas of American government. It's 922 pages, so obviously I can't go over every page, but I can give you an idea of what it's all about. The 4 tenets of Project 2025 are: number 1, restore the family as the centerpiece of American life. Number 2, dismantle the administrative state and return self-governance to the American people. Number 3, defend the nation's sovereignty, borders, and bounty against global threats. And number 4, secure God-given individual rights to live freely. Now you have to know all of these things are focusing on white people, what they think the ideal America would be. Although there are parts of this document that black people would definitely agree with, many black people, even most black people, I would say. So I'm going to go over some of it, and I'm not making it up. If I say something that's my opinion, I will say it's my opinion, but I'm going to go over the document. So I'm switching to Wikipedia to give you the summary of this project because the actual document is just way too long and wordy. So Project 2025, initiated by the Heritage Foundation, which is a very conservative foundation, is a comprehensive plan aimed at reshaping the United States federal government to align with conservative principles, particularly if a Republican candidate wins the 2024 presidential election. Here are some key points. So they really want to impact the executive branch of government, which is the president. Number 1, executive power. The project advocates for a minimalist interpretation of the unitary executive theory, which would significantly expand presidential control over the executive branch. Now here's my interpretation. So they want to give the president more power really than what he already has, because the president is restricted by the Constitution. So they want to expand the powers of the president, especially if it's a Republican president. Number 2, federal workforce. It proposes reclassifying many federal civil service positions as political appointments, allowing for the replacement of current employees with those aligned with conservative values. My interpretation: right now, federal employees are nonpartisan. If they're Democrats or Republicans, they're not supposed to be expressing those views, because the new president comes in, he sets his own agenda. What this Project 2025 says is, when a new president comes in, he can fire the federal employees and hire people who are aligned with his agenda. So if you are a Democrat and a Republican president comes in, then he can fire you and replace you with a Republican, somebody that's aligned with his political values. And we're not fooled by the word replacement. That means they're going to fire you. Number 3, policy changes. The plan includes dismantling several federal agencies such as the Department of Education and the Department of Homeland Security, and reducing regulations, particularly those related to environmental and climate policies. My opinion, they want to dismantle the Department of Education so they can control what's being taught in American schools. They want to rewrite history. They want to take slavery out and say, oh, they were just over here as workers. They came as immigrants. So we were not immigrants. We are not immigrants, and that is a lie. Now, this is my opinion. They want to dismantle education because they don't want the truth taught about this country. They also want to dismantle the Department of Homeland Security, and I believe that has to do with immigration. They want to criminalize the people who come illegally across the border, which is what I'm saying is black people will probably agree with that because they are crowding in these cities and they're taking resources, not just jobs, they're taking resources that should go for the people who are citizens of those states and cities. And also, I just watched the video of Lisa Cabrera just before I did this video where the president of Venezuela says he's not taking any of those criminals that he sent up here back, that he's not even going to let the plane land in Venezuela. So America has got to do something about these illegal immigrants who are just coming in here across the border at will and committing crimes. They're doing horrible things up there in those cities. So I agree that something needs to be done. I don't know if the Department of Homeland Security should be dismantled, but something needs to be done. Number 4, social and economic policies. Project 2025 aims to restore traditional family values, defend national sovereignty, and secure individual rights. It also suggests significant tax cuts and changes to economic policies. My opinion, white Americans are concerned about their low birth rate because at this point it's irreversible, which is why guns are put in our neighborhoods probably. But they want to preserve their cultural and racial identity, and they can't do that if the family continues to be compromised. I'll put it that way. The Supreme Court has already overturned Roe v. Wade, so getting an abortion on demand is just not possible now in America. You can probably still get it, but it's not going to be easy. And also, they're going to make it more difficult for women to get divorced. They're going to do away, this is what they want to do. They want to do away with no-fault divorce. So if you're in a bad marriage and want out, you're not going to be able to just go down there and say irreconcilable differences and get out of that marriage. Here's an interesting part of Project 2025, cutting ties completely with China. For instance, the document advocates for restricting people's access to TikTok because of its China-based parent company, prohibiting Confucius Institutes, cultural institutions at colleges and universities funded by the Chinese government, and blocking other Chinese entities from partnering with U.S. companies. So you know they've already stopped the Chinese from buying land in Florida and maybe even Texas. I think I'm right about that. But they want to cut ties with China. Now listen to this. They want to reverse protections against discrimination in housing. My opinion, they want to go back to preventing you from buying a house in a certain neighborhood if they don't want you in the neighborhood. How interesting. Project 2025 also recommends making it easier to sell off homes used for public housing, a benefit to real estate developers, but result in fewer cheap housing options for poor and low-income families. So they want to sell the public housing as a regular renting facility, and then poor people are displaced. So it's the same old policies for the rich, the white and the rich. That's all this is. At the end of the day, we can agree with some of the things in this project, but most of it is really just the same old, trying to return the country back to the 1950s. Now that's how I see it, but I'm going to continue to read through the document, and from time to time, I will bring you other parts of it that you might be interested in. Okay, y'all, so thank you for listening, and let me know what you think about the video. Subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, share the video, and as always, have a great day.